Hey, horror fans! Once again, it is me, the Horror Miser Money G. It's time to review the latest Christmas horror film. This one is called The Sacrifice Game. Yes, these calories are going to raise some hell.
Y'all ready for this?
Hey, horror fans! Once again, it is me, the Horror Miser Money G. Now, The Sacrifice Game is a 2023 American horror film. It was directed by Jenn Wexler. It was written by Jenn Wexler and Sean Redditz. Now, the film stars Mena Massoud, Olivia Scott Welch, Gus Kentworthy, Madison Baines, Derek Johns, and Georgia Akin. Now, in this film, it is bad enough that boarding school students Samantha and Clara cannot go home for the holidays, but things take a deadly turn when a murderous gang arrives on their doorstep just in time for Christmas. Oh no. When it comes to Christmas horror fans, we horror fans always look forward to seeing what new horror films filmmakers are creating using Christmas as the premise of the film. We have our favorites. For me, it's Krampus. We have Silent Night, Deadly Night. I know some people like Better Watch Out, A Christmas Horror Story. We've seen a whole bunch of films with Christmas as the focus of the film, but filmmakers have also created some new ones that have recently come out as well. Now, last year we had Christmas Bloody Christmas. That's the film where we actually had a Terminator dress up as Santa Claus. We had Violent Night. That's the one Dave Brower stars as a Viking who becomes actually Santa Claus, and he goes die hard on a bunch of home invasion, a bunch of some type of bad guys invading this billionaire's home. And of course, we have David Gordon Green in The Mean One, which was the horror version of How the Grinch Stole Christmas. This year is no different as American writer-director Jennifer Wexler brings us her latest project for the Christmas holidays. This one is called The Sacrifice Game. Taking place during the Christmas holidays in 1971, after we see a group of murderers invade and viciously kill a married couple, we see a bunch of girls at the all-girl Blackwood Academy School preparing to leave for the Christmas break. Unfortunately, two of the girls, Samantha and Clara, must stay at the school along with their teacher Rose and her boyfriend, the cook named Jimmy, because Clara is an orphan and Samantha's stepfather is not available to pick her up, so they gotta stay there. Oh, poor girls. Now, it's not long before the murderers make it their way to the school, and then they hold Rose, Samantha, Clara hostage so they can continue their reign of terror this Christmas Eve night. Yeah, oh well, what are you going to do? Now, I actually have to give Jen and her writing partner, Sean Reddit's credit for producing this concept of a Christmas horror movie. I mean, this is the first time we actually do not see someone dressed up as Santa Claus going on a killing spree. We don't have demon elves. We don't have Krampuses going around, and we don't have any other type of Christmas myths. It's just your general basic home invasion horror film. Yeah, Jen does a decent job in showing how violent and deadly the Christmas killers, that's who they're dubbed by the media, are. As we see in the opening of the film and throughout the rest of the film, these guys are violent and they mean business. Now, I also like the fact that this film is set during the early 70s, where we see Rose and the girl struggle with the lack of the limited technology that we had back at the time. Where there's no cell phones, there's no video cameras. It's just, pure 70 you got you got the rotary phones, you got the corded phones. You actually had to dial the operator before you actually get to the police, because I think 911 was not created at this particular time. So it's like, it's nice to see that type of aspect and this type of setting in a Christmas horror film, because really we haven't seen that before for some of the modern settings and Christmas horror films. So it was nice seeing that aesthetic in this particular film. The film is well paced as Jen wastes no time in setting up the premise, introducing characters, and creating some small character development between Samantha and Clara. They also don't hold back the violence, as this film is very bloody at times, as the group leader Judd lets everyone know that they mean business. They're here for a purpose, and if you get in their way, you're going to wind up dead. Now, when it comes to the group's motivation as to why they're committing such heinous crimes, it's kind of quite predictable, and I don't think it's not going to surprise anyone. But for me, it didn't take away my enjoyment of the film because I did like the film as much, even though that particular part of the film was predictable, because we've seen it before in other horror films. But I still enjoyed the concept of the film. Now, Egyptian Canadian actor Mena Massoud, who played Aladdin in the Disney live action version of the film, he's pretty good as the vicious leader Jude. I mean, you could tell he's having fun playing the character because he does particularly good in playing the villain role because he does not look scary or frightening. He takes advantage of his very innocent look. I guess people might consider him handsome. I'm a guy, I'm not gay, so I'm pretty sure most people who probably think he's gay. I never saw the live action Aladdin, but I heard he did a pretty good job in playing the role. So this is a very different type of role for him coming off from Aladdin to play this particular character. And I thought he actually did a pretty good job. Now, Madison Baines and Georgia Ekin, they're okay as Samantha and Clara, as they have some good chemistry together. I like their little back and forth. We get a little small character development. We get to learn a little bit more about Samantha's background and what she's going through right there. And I thought they were okay together in the scenes that they have together. Unfortunately, when it comes to the third act, when some troops are revealed, neither Madison or Georgia do not have the experience to carry the film, and that part the film is about 10 minutes too long. I mean, I understand what they're trying to do. I understand the concept, but I don't know they were experienced enough to carry that particular scene. And the scene kind of also drags out, I think, about at least 10 minutes too long. If the film was a bit shorter or they did a little bit more character development between the two girls, that scene probably would have been a bit more effective, but that's the whole problem. And I don't know if the girls I really haven't looked at their careers as far as what they have done prior to this film being made. But you can tell that unfortunately it was being stretched a bit for those two actors to carry that particular scene. I mean, there are some logic gaps that take place, especially during the second and third act of the film, where the audience will not be able to suspend their belief of what's happening on the screen. When you see that scene, you know what I'm talking about. However, despite these flaws, this was a pretty decent Christmas horror film. Got a nice premise, some good acting, and some bloody kills. Not a lot of gore. There's some very good bloody kills in this scene. Like I said, Mena Masad, he's pretty good in his character. I thought the two girls were okay. I liked the premise. Not a lot of blood, not a nice, decent kills, but it's an okay Christmas horror film. It's not better than Krampus or A Christmas Horror Story or some of the other Christmas films I saw last year or probably some this year, but it's okay. So I'm going to give the Sacrifice Game, I'll give it 2.5 out of my 5 bloody gold coin. Yeah, 2.5. Like I said, it's an okay, almost pretty good, decent horror film. But if they would have cut some of that part of the third act down some, or probably made a little bit more character development between the two little girls, Samantha and Claire, a little bit more, this probably would have been a better Christmas horror film. But it's okay. There you have it, my horror fans. That's my review and video for The Sacrifice Game. I hope you did enjoy it. And if you did, please give it a thumbs up, like, and share. It really does help out that YouTube algorithm. Have you seen The Sacrifice Game? I believe it's airing on Shudder now. Tell me what you thought about the film. You see it in the comment section below. Also, if you're new here, please hit that subscriber button. Ring that notification bell. That way, we notify anytime when I put a new videos like this one. Once again, my name is Lamont Smith, better known as the Horror Miser Money G. And always remember that horror rules. Ha 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 ha. I'll see you in my next video. You guys stay safe out there.